Hi, this is Leslie from the National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Girls, Women and Girls. I'm here with Nia. She was recently released from MCI Framingham, transferred to South Bay, and she's here to tell us about her experience um, during the transfer and what transpired at South Bay before she was released. Hi, Nia.
Hi, I was released from South Bay quite recently. It's been, I think, a month today. From the transfer from Framingham to South Bay, it was like night and day. I had never been to South Bay, but it wasn't a great experience. Upon arriving to South Bay, I was in booking for 9 hours, so me and 8 other girls were quite grumpy. But arriving on the unit, was quite worse. We went to a unit that had been shut down for 6 months. The water wasn't running properly. The showers weren't running properly. There weren't any TVs in our cells. Upon arriving there, we received meals that were ice cold. The treadmill didn't work, which was given to us for exercising purposes only, because we found out that we did not get day-to-day fresh air there. So we wanted to remain active because in Framingham we were quite active. We went out on movements. Once we was transferred to South Bay, we found out that I think we got 1 hour 2 times a week. So that was like 2 hours outside, which wasn't a great experience at all. Not only that, I experienced being on elevators with men and interacting with men a lot there at South Bay. We didn't receive our medications upon arrival. Not only that, but I was sent to segregation for what they call refusing a direct order. So I went without my psych medications for the time that I was there, along with other women. I also experienced just a lot of negative energy from the COs. Um, though we had locked down 17 and a half hours, like I said, we went from always being out or being able to be out, besides being locked down in Framingham for those 4 times a day, to being locked down 17 and a half hours. We're in cells by ourselves for 17 and a half hours out of the day once the calculations are done. And we're coming out for meals, which they're considering some of our time out, but the meals we could only eat within 10 minutes. And if they arrived ice cold, we couldn't heat them up. So one of the guys, inmates also told us, don't eat the cake. And that's part of the campaign that they started on their own, being incarcerated men and women there, meaning that there's mice droppings and stuff on the cake. Um, it was just, it wasn't a good experience. Um, I was held 11 days past my release date. I was supposed to be released on October the 6th. I was not released from South Bay until October the 17th, when I was made aware while in segregation, where I was sitting naked for 5 hours because they didn't have a uniform for me, that I should have been released. And I had 1 hour to figure out where I was going to go, and wasn't any resources provided to me up on being released from South Bay. They just gave me a discharge certification of discharge, saying that I was being released from there. They came down, they told me it was my time to go, that the ball had been dropped, and that basically was my problem. I asked them for re-entry resources, like somewhere to go, somewhere to live, my medications, things of that nature, and they told me that they could not help me because I fell through the loop and the ball was dropped. So that's just a little snippet of my story. It's more detailed, but it's definitely a horrific place to be, in prison, not only for women, but for men also. But I don't think that that place is designed at all for women to be incarcerated at. And I thank you, Leslie, so much for taking the time out to interview me.
Thank you,
You're
Nia.
welcome.